today we are talking about the new Harry Potter show that is in the works. And I wanted to talk about what I want to see and like what I expect. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about this. Let's get into the video. Okay, so first of all, I want to say this is not a video about the casting. I am just so done with hearing about. I feel like every show that comes out these days have some kind of casting drama, and I'm just like, I'm just not here for it. Just if you don't want to watch something because some people are in it that you don't want to see, then don't watch it. End of story. Don't complain about it on the internet, okay? So that's that. I'm not talking about it again. I just wanted to bring it up because everyone's talking about it. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Just don't give a damn, okay? I just don't care. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm really freaking excited for this new Harry Potter show. I'm the casting I really like, and like I love what's his name? I think it's like Nick Frost or something who's playing Hagrid. I'm so excited to see that because I love him as an actor. The Cornetto trilogy is like one of my favorite movie. Like, and it's not really a series, but like they go together, and I love that so much. So I'm excited to see him. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What I hope to see from this is book accuracy. That's like what I'm hoping for. Now, I'm not like, they don't have to be perfect. Like the movies, which I love, are not perfect. They're not a perfect copy of the books. So it's not that I want a perfect copy, but I'm excited to see some of the things from the books that we especially didn't see in the movies. Like Peeves the Poltergeist. I would really like to see him. I don't know if it would be difficult for them to do it. I remember they said it was difficult in the movie and he ended up being too creepy or something. But I do think now is the time that they can get it right with all the like technology we have and stuff like that. And I'm excited to see ghosts. Uh, I would like to see the Death Day party from Nicholas, you know. Nearly Headless Nick, I would love to see the Death Day party. They never brought it up in the movies, and I totally get it, runtime. But now it's a show, so there's enough time for them to like expand on all these things that were in the books. So I'm really excited. I wonder how many episodes there will be per season because there's definitely going to be like 7 seasons, you know, like a season per book. I don't know. I hope so. I really do. Because I feel like if they don't do that, that's going to be a problem because there's not going to be enough time then. If they like do 2 books a season, that'll be a mess. So I'm excited to see what they're doing. Are they going to like blend the story more? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to be separated by seasons, or are they like going to make it more of a like all of the things just blend together? Because realistically, obviously, when you're reading the books and watching the movies, they feel very separate yet together. But in a show, you could probably change that to be more like cohesive. So either way, I'll be happy. But I just want them to spend enough time per book. Whether they blend it or not, I want everything in there. And even though that sounds stupid because I just said like they don't need to do it perfectly, but for me, like the important things need to be in there, like plot points. And one of the most things that I really want to see is more Tom Riddle, more Voldemort, like his backstory and things. We barely saw any of it, and he's the main villain. So I would really love to see that. There's so many interesting things in the books and in like not Pottermore, Wizarding World about Voldemort and his like past and things like that that I really love to read. And that's why like Half Blood Prince is a really good book. Like I really like it because it expands on the villain, which is such an important thing in any series, you know? So I think that'll be really cool if we get to see more of Tom Riddle. One thing, don't try to make him like one of those where it's like, oh, he's not actually that bad. Because the whole thing about Voldemort is he is that bad. Like, a little bit of a lore drop here, but if you don't know, like Voldemort was made with a love potion. His mother drugged the father, and basically she like drugged him with a love potion, which love potions, don't even get me started on how messed up that is, but that's not what this video is about. But the point is, apparently the result of this is that he was born without love, you know? And that's why he's such an awful person, because he was made from this like loveless relationship, even though the mother claimed to love uh, Tom Riddle Sr., but it's not real love, you know, it's obsession. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons he is the way that he is. And I want to see that. You know, I don't want him to be redeemable. Like, I love a redeemable villain, but that's just not Voldemort. Voldemort is Voldemort. You know what I mean? He needs to be bad. No redeeming qualities. Like, yeah, he has a similar past to Harry, and that is an interesting plot point in the series, and I hope they expand upon that a lot more. That like Harry and Voldemort are so similar, but they're also so different, and that is why it's important to show how different they are in terms of like good and evil. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to them like, of course, now at this point, Harry is like a little tiny baby, so it's going to be a while until we see his like character arc. But I'm really looking forward to like the whole him struggling with like the good and evil inside him. And yeah, I just want more Voldemort stuff, more the inner workings of Harry. Because Harry's such an interesting character, and I feel like a lot of people miss that, especially if they haven't read the books. You can't miss that he is such an interesting character, and there is a lot in his head that's going on, and like in a series they can do that now. There's enough time to talk about all those things. Another thing now that I'm seeing little Dobby here in the corner of my face, screen, whatever you call it, more house elves, please. I want more Dobby. Do not write Dobby out like you did in the movies. That's one of the only things I don't like about the movies, is that Dobby is barely in it, and he is such a big part of the books. Like, he's in a lot more of the books, if you didn't know. And there's also a lot of other house elves that are more prominent, like Winky, and like, yeah, I just want to see more of the house elves things, and maybe they could talk a little bit about like the slavery thing, you know? Like, yeah, I think that'll be a good thing to talk about a little more, but also don't go too much into it, because of course we need to focus on like the main plot of the series. But I do think sometimes we breeze past the fact of the house elves and things too quickly, and it is one of the like faults of the Harry Potter series, that there's just like this race of slaves, and like everyone's just okay with it except Hermione. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with that, but hopefully they don't get too stuck on like reality. Because I do think one thing about Harry Potter is it's important to focus on the problems they have in their world and not bring our world into it. Because a lot, I'm gonna talk about the casting a little bit, because of you know, they casted a black Snape, and I have no problem with it. Like, whatever, who freaking cares? But some people didn't like it because they were like, oh, this is kind of like, it's gonna be weird because he's already like being bullied by James, and now it's gonna feel like James is racist or whatever. But the whole point of the wizarding world is that they're so different and cut off from the human world. They don't have traditional racism, they have their own racism, which is like the slavery of the house elves, and like between different magical species, like the dwarves, the house elves, the different types, the centaurs, they all have kind of prejudices against each other. And of course, the pure blood type thing, that is also their version of racism, and they don't care about like aesthetic racism, you know. So it's important to remember that when you watch the show and read the books and the movies, you know, it's different from our world, and it's important to think about that. But also, what I want to see, getting back to positive notes, is more. I hope Ron isn't as dumb as in the movies. Even though I love dumb Ron, I would like to see him be more clever, but also do not take too much from Hermione because I feel like it could go either way. Like if they make Ron a bit like he was in the books, which is he was not dumb. Like he was actually quite clever. And of course Hermione is the smartest, but they both played off each other well. And I just don't want them to like dumb down Hermione to make Ron smarter because that is something they do sometimes when they do like remakes and things. Like, don't do that. She doesn't need to be dumbed down for him to also be clever. There's enough room for smart people, you know? And yeah, there's just so much I want to see. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. There's just so much. And honestly, I think as long as they stick with the main storylines, I'll be happy. Like, just don't change anything to do with the story. Like, other things that are like, oh, they didn't see, like, let's say they leave something out, like, let me think of something that you would like to see, but it's not that important. Oh, this is hard. Um, I can literally can't think of something right now. But it's okay if they leave something out that is like a fun thing that we like, but isn't important. Like I'm not going to be too mad about that. But as long as they keep all the things that like drive the plot, like you can't leave things out like the secret tunnels, like they just even if they just do like the secret tunnel for Hogsmeade, then that's fine. Like at least do that so that we know about the secret tunnels and it is important later, you know. Then yeah, I just think they need to like keep in mind those types of things and like this is a very interweaved story and like everything is important, you know what I mean? So as long as they don't leave out things that drive the plot later on, because I do think sometimes they can be short-sighted when they're doing these types of shows, like these remake shows. Like, for example, some stuff like when we watched the Last of Us series, like, or when I watched it, I mean, there were some things that they left out that make me worried for the future because, like, it's plot driving moments. And that is important in these types of stories. That is like multiple books or multiple movies or whatever the case may be. Like, it's important to, like, those plot driving moments are really important. Like, imagine they leave out something like, I'm trying to think of something, but it's really difficult when I'm on the spot. I did not write a script for this video. I'm sorry. I just wanted to talk about this quickly. But let's say they leave out the room of requirement, like early in when they find it the first time and they do the whole like order of not Order of Phoenix. What was their version? Dumbledore's army. They do that. Imagine if they leave out the room of requirement and make them do it somewhere else. Now, in the moment, it's not a big deal. But later on, it's like they don't know about the room of requirement. So how are they going to find the diadem? How is what's her face Jenny gonna and Harry gonna hide the potion book? How there's so many things that come from them finding the room of requirement, and they cannot find it later on because they need to know it's there already. So that's an example of what I mean with like those types of things that are set up are important. And even though in the moment of the story it's not that important, like obviously they can do it somewhere else. The whole Dumbledore's army thing, they can do it somewhere else. But the whole point is it's setting up the room of requirement and how important it is in the story. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I think I just hope they have people on the team, the writing team, the executives, whoever is in charge of this. I just hope they have people that care about the books, have read the books cover to cover. Because I do feel like a lot of these remakes and like when it's from book to movie or movie to show or whatever the case is, a lot of the times the people who work on it are not fans. And I get like it's a job and like you don't have to be a fan of the material, but for me, there needs to be at least one person in the chain of command, like whether it be a writer or a director or whoever, like someone high up that cares about the story. Because if there isn't, then we have all the messed up remakes and reboots that we have because people don't understand the point of the story. And they just think about like, oh, we'll just do the like cosmetic stuff, you know, like the magic and all that. But when you leave out the story, it loses the whole point. So yeah, all I want from this show is just keep the story. Whether you leave out small things, I'll be fine. I wish they would add everything, but that's not always the case. Even with the show, there is a time limit. Even though it's a lot longer than a movie, we don't know how many episodes there's going to be. We don't know how long each episode's going to be. So they still have to think about what they can fit in each episode, in each season, I mean. So yeah, just even though I wish they had could leave everything in, I know they're going to leave some things out. But as long as they leave all the build up, the setup, the important things, and the story arcs and all of that, character developments as well, because a lot of the times I don't know why they do this. They like think the character arcs aren't important. Like, of course they are. That's the whole freaking point of a story. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to it. I really am, and they're busy filming it. And little Harry looks so adorable and young. It's so crazy, especially when you like rewatch the movies and you're like, oh my word, they're so tiny. And now we're gonna see that again with these kids. And also, this is just a side note. It's not really to do with plot or anything, but please, guys, be nice to these kids, okay? They're child actors. They're not going to be amazing actors, probably, because they're child actors. They're children. And, like, whatever problems you might have with the show in the future, remember that these are kids. And, like, don't make it their fault because it's not. They're just doing their they're just learning the lines and doing their delivery. They're not in charge of anything. So don't bully them, is basically what I'm saying. Because you guys might think I'm being silly and like ridiculous, but people do that. You know how many kids have been bullied out of the film industry because of like a story they were in that they were just acting in and people didn't like the movie or show and then they like bullied that kid out of acting. So yeah, be nice. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.